much, Alan. I'd like to ask Judy Laster to talk about the Woods Hole Film Festival.
Thank you, Marilyn. Thank you for having me here.
Sure.
So like everybody else, the word of the pandemic is pivot when it comes to event-based organizations. Last summer, well, actually last March, on March 10th, we had our last sold out screening, and we were scheduled to have another one the following week when all of a sudden everything had shut down. And so very quickly we had to figure out what we were going to do. We thought, oh, surely by the end of July, the film festival would be able to happen in person again. Little did we know how wrong we were. And then all of a sudden around the country, our colleagues started shutting down. First it was South by Southwest, then it was Seattle, then every other film festival that was supposed to be happening in the spring wasn't. But then some of our colleagues really started to develop an option of doing a virtual film festival, which is kind of complicated. And we then had to figure out very quickly whether we were going to try and do this. The technology was in its infancy to basically create a Netflix type streaming platform and integrate it with the ticketing and information and community gathering system in 2 months without any investment capital. And amazingly, through the support of our colleagues, through working with our streaming provider and our ticketing platform, we were able to create this integrated experience. And then we had 187 films in last summer's festival at a time when filmmakers were being told and were being discouraged from participating in virtual film festivals. They were still considered the stepchild of the film festival world. Very shortly after that, however, it became clear that the entire world that we lived in was going to change for a very long time. Because of what we do and how we do it, we think we're going to be some of the last to come back as far as the viability of a solely in-person event. And so right now, and I'll get to what we've been doing since then, but you know, we're planning obviously for our next summer's festival, which will be our 30th. The dates are July 31st through August 7th. But it's very hard to plan when you have no idea what the world is going to look like. And so we're planning virtual, hoping for hybrid, and praying for in-person as well. One of the things that we did learn at last summer's festival was that there are many people who really actually appreciate being able to access our film festival virtually, because it offers them the opportunity to watch from anywhere, not have to find parking in Woods Hole, which unfortunately the cost of parking tickets in Woods Hole just went up. You know, they can also then schedule things as they want to see them. But one of the things that happened, you know, with the virtual festival, we were thrilled to be able to present it, and it was an amazing amount of work and it was a great experience. But the thing that's really missing from all virtual events is that community engagement, that in-person experience that you have when you go to an event and you have the energy and the excitement from the audience. And so one of the things that's happening right now is that there is technology that's coming online that will help to facilitate those community engagement kind of experiences. And so we're currently looking at that as an addition to our virtual event to make the event a lot more dynamic. So that would be exciting. I'll be happy to report back when that becomes available. But since the festival, we've been hosting bi-month, 2 screenings a month as virtual screenings, and they've been going really well. We have a screening that lasts for 4 days, and then on the Saturday of each film, we have a Zoom Q&A with the filmmakers, and those have been wonderful. We've partnered with the Woods Hole Yacht Club on a couple of them because we've had a few sailing type films. We plan to do those screenings going forward. However, in January 7th, we're going to have basically a concert that we're presenting of Jeff Daniels, the actor. Jeff Daniels, the actor, was in a film that we showed in 2018 called Guest Artist. He was on Broadway at the same time, and so he couldn't come to the festival, but we didn't know that he was a musician. And so he actually just contacted us. And so we're going to co-present a concert with Jeff Daniels on January 7th, which should be wonderful. And that is a great thing about the virtual world. It allows you to do things that you wouldn't necessarily do. We are also producing 3 films, and we hope that, and these are under the Film and Science Initiative that we started a few years ago, and we hope that they will be available by mid-spring, early summer to present to the Woods Hole community and beyond, and that's pretty exciting. We also started our first film programming fellowship, and we have 6 programming fellows from all over who are working with us. Actually, a number of them have a relationship to Cape Cod to understand how to program a film festival, because there's really nowhere that anybody can learn how to do this. So we are the first. We hope that we will be able to expand this to offer this to many festivals around the country. And we're applying for grants through the Academy to hopefully allow us to grow that. Like everybody else, we've had to spend a lot of time on grants and grant writing. And the thing that was amazing to us and really appreciated was that the Mass Cultural Council came on board right away and said, don't worry about what you said you were going to do with the money we gave you. Just stay alive. And oh, by the way, here's some more money. So that was kind of amazing. For a state organization, I can't thank them enough for being wonderful and really caring and really, really helpful at a time when so many arts and culture organizations were really in a desperate situation. So next summer is our 30th, as I said, July 31st through August 7th. And because we have no idea if we're going to really be hybrid, totally virtual, partly inside in person, we're thinking of spreading out the events that we're going to host for the 30th. They'll start next summer, but last over the year, with the hope that at some point in 2021, 2022, we will be able to have in-person events again. But we are kicking off the festival with an event that we'd be happy to talk to people about, called Water World on Water Street. And we hope that will be a fully engaged outdoor event that has, we're going to be doing projection mapping on the buildings. We hope to have installations all over Water Street in Woods Hole, possibly some augmented reality, probably not virtual reality, but the idea of Water World on Water Street is to really show people what the world of water looks like, so people feel like they're walking underwater when they walk down Water Street, but it will be the water now and then the water in the future. So part of it is the festival now, the festival of the future. But Woods Hole is in a unique situation of having to plan for sea level rise. So we're engaged with the scientific community on these efforts and the Woods Hole business community as well. So that is what we are doing, trying to stay busy, trying to stay out of trouble.
Thank you so much. That's terrific. I have a video that Christine Ernst did from Katuitt Center for the Arts that I'm going to show at the end, but she mentioned some of the same things you did about how they're holding classes for people in Australia now because of the virtual nature of everything.